with and just start off, are you familiar with, responsive design, or kind of, if you want, I could kind of give a run through. I guess everyone may have different opinions. Are you familiar with it? Have you heard the term before? Are you familiar with it at all?
Yes, as per my understanding, the application you used to be able to access it like anywhere.
Or maybe like in different platform, right? Maybe like phone or browser.
Yes. Oh, so and then, there was your audio from your computer and your phone is getting in there, so I missed part of it. But the page, could you say it just one more time? I think you're talking about how the page could show up differently depending what device you're using.
I am muted right now.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, I can hear you. Before
okay.
your before I was getting audio from both your computer and your phone. Now I'm just getting it from you, so you're coming in great. So so
Okay.
responsive design. Would you mind just saying it one more time for the purpose of the class that will
Okay.
show up and watch it on the Encore presentation?
Yes. Well, as per my understanding, you should be able to access the application in different platform, like maybe like laptop or phone, or that kind of.
That sounds pretty good. The way I've been working from is, we have even in the office different types of screens, and with HTML5, this new technology or new standard is put in there where there's able to do a media query where the page can determine how big your screen is and then make the page show up differently. What I'm going to go over is just kind of one of the more simple responsive design. So it was kind of one of those solutions without a problem. So and then people have been trying to figure out the simplest way to put it in there. So
Okay.
I think that was it. And there's some use of responsive design even on the CMS page. And I think we're going to go with perhaps a simpler, maybe easier to implement one. But if we go to innovation.cms.gov, you can see some evidence of responsive design as you make the page larger and smaller. Well, there's a float here, but I thought
Okay.
I was
Is
on
that
one where it will show where it shows a little bit different. Maybe it's on CMS.
okay? So do they use like a fluid pattern, or like I mean, HTML has like a different pattern to allow the browser adjust the application?
Yes, so there's so HTML5 has a standard that's it's called a media query, which enables
Oh,
your code to figure out how big or small this is. So this is this design here. You can see how the page shows something slightly different as you make it smaller and larger. Um,
yeah.
and on the landing page, there's been this kind of talk of tabs versus, and you're going to start hearing it, tabs versus tiles. One of the so there's there's a couple different responsive design patterns. So there's this one here where as the page gets smaller, it just kind of starts to style it differently.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
this is an example of responsive design. You can see it getting bigger and smaller, but not necessarily exactly what you'd want to see. So there's this design pattern called mobile first, which is basically you divide kind of the design of your screen down to the smallest, I call it glowing rectangle possible, which is the size of your cell phone. And then you
Oh,
start to develop a grid of kind of how the page is. And let me just show you that. Here's an example. So this one, if you kind of divide your page into, and I just kind of called these widgets here, or tiles, you'd want to make this tile about the size of your phone, and then as you just make it larger and smaller, you don't necessarily have to redesign your page, but just it kind of reorganizes. So if your client happens to have a larger screen, just kind of slides it out there, and you kind of commoditize your screen, to just basically make it like Tetris. So it's I call it Tetris, but simply we have established a grid right here, and when certain breakpoints are crossed, there's no longer room for there to be 5 columns. It resizes it or reorganizes it for 4 columns. And this one, been looking at this as potentially a good way to look for the landing page, because one of our issues is we don't have a whole lot of space that's available to us underneath this. Let me get to the Innovation Center. Kind of our design, if for the people that have the smaller computer, we don't really have a whole lot of space or starting from here. And if we have a tab view, it kind of keeps on, we'll quickly end up with perhaps a third of our screen being used just for navigation. And if you have kind of a grid pattern, we'll kind of go into the differences of it. But the grid pattern kind of rewards someone for having a larger screen or takes advantage of it. So in a tile or in a tab part, you have your tabs just kind of go across the screen. We'll show that landing page style here. If you have several tabs and extends past your screen area, well, it'll just kind of be scrolling off, or you're going to have to continue to take away from your viewable area. In the responsive design pattern, if someone has a smaller screen, well, they'll have to scroll up and down. If they are fortunate enough to have a wider screen, they can kind of get more of a user experience. And so this grid pattern works a couple things. One is, and we'll get into this one. You have this kind of thumbnail view, and this is the perfect one because this is this is very commoditized. It's always the same size. And then and I'll get into kind of how that works. But the short of it is, this is new technology. It's HTML5, but iRise doesn't have native support. And by the way, you'll see I'm running this in iRise, but there's no native iRise widget for doing this. So there's this problem that was that we needed to have the ability to, customers don't know what responsive design is, for example, and we need to be able to show the customer what is responsive design and how they might be able to use it, even though iRise doesn't have the capability of doing that. And that's why there's this ability. It's an open platform where you're able to extend what iRise has. You can write your own native jQuery, all the scripting language. And so in today's example, I'm going to show a couple of other ones, but there's some things that are just not so easy to simulate in iRise that you have the ability to extend iRise. So if you're on the advanced concept right here, there's this concept called iBlocks. I'm just going to hit a new tab here, and we're going to, there's several of them. Perhaps I'll start off with just some simple ones so we can learn how to install these, and then kind of work on more of the advanced ones. So here's the iBlock library. An iBlock is a combination of, in fact, let me show you. Manica, is it going to glaze your eyes over if I kind of show you the source code of what goes into these, or just should I stay at this level? I wasn't sure. Are you HTML, JavaScript somewhat savvy?
No.
No? Okay, so I'll just...
Java, but I know about HTML and CSS as well. Okay,
so so these are all types of pieces of functionality that just aren't natively easy to do in iRise. Like, for example, if you wanted to make a heat chart of the United States, to begin with in iRise, you'd probably have to start putting in a bunch of different graphics and things like that. Well, Google has this library already, and some group called iRise was able to just kind of package that code into one item. You can just download it and put it right into your simulation. Trying to come up with, so these are just the different types of functionality here. I'm going to actually get, I think an auto suggest box is one of the easier ones, but a part where you might need to simulate controls of one of the, the iPhones. This is using the jQuery mobile library. This has been kind of packaged, and this is kind of the way of extending iRise's functionality until these controls get brought in and you can just natively have it. So I'm going to move to the, I think one of the more useful ones. In fact, they've got a lot here. So we'll kind of run through it quickly. There is an auto suggest. Oh, you know what? This is a great one, text counter. So I'm going to just see if I could guide everyone to download a text counter, because sometimes when you are, we want to have a simulation of, we'll have text fields, but there's a limitation. So and we want the users to know that. Like, so on the landing page when you're requesting access, it says additional comments. Obviously, there's going to be some requirement because, if there's no limitation on it, I guess in theory someone could post, like a 20 terabyte data thing in that field and try to crash the system. So I'm assuming there will be some character limit, let's say 350 characters for argument's sake on there. And on the user interface, we want the user, as they type in their comments, we want to be able to provide some feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull up, since we're in the ActionNet Center of Practice, go to team page 2. All right. Oh, looks like some folks have been working on this. This is excellent. I'm going to collapse this widget here. Okay, so we have user requirements, and we've got a couple tiles here. So I'm going to go ahead and under the Tony Calise tab, I'm going to, I guess, demonstrate under this tab how to, let's put in a comment box right here. And I want to show that I want to show a character limitation. So because this is something we'll do on the landing page. In fact, well, this is the quickest way to do it here, and then we'll apply this to the landing page. So trying to actually, I want to make this easier for everyone to access. F12. We have these cool tabs, and we're going to be using this pretty soon for our responsive design. Let me just move all this stuff down. I'm going to show what iRise has for functionality, and then I'm going to show what we're going to want to extend it. So let's say that there's a spot that we have. It's a comment box, and we want the limit to only allow 300 characters. Well, we don't really have any way natively in iRise to be able to let the user know that they can only type in 300 characters. So if we go to team page 2, here are some comments that should be limited to 300 characters. Now, there are some iRise some conventions, like when we were to submit it, we could use an operator, and we won't. That's more of the advanced data concept where we could check and say, "Hey, you extended 300 characters," but the customer said, "No, we want to visualize, kind of a countdown showing how many characters you have available." Well, the problem is that doesn't exist in iRise. So the solution is we go to this landing page. We go to iBlocks, and we take a look, see if something exists. Oh, fortunately, there's a ID8 iBlock that's available. And then I also teach a class on how to make these. But before we get into this, we want to kind of have this functionality. So I've used several iBlocks in the past, so as I have them, let's see if I have a text counter even in here. Perfect. I need to install a text counter on here. And there's two different types of iBlocks. There's a widget, which means it actually shows something visually on the screen to the user, and you just drop it right here. Like, for example, here's an iBlock of a Google map. That's what I'll put in the Tony Calise tab. Here's a There's a Google map here that I can a widget is something you can just an iBlock widget is something you can drag and drop, and it's got kind of a UI type of feel for it. So this one kind of shows, helps me simulate how a Google map would work. We don't have a requirement for that one, but that's an example of one of those. In this case, on the Team 2 page, I want to put in a character limit of 300 characters. So I've identified this iBlock that I want, and now I need to be able to install it. And I believe iRise just made it a little bit easier to install iBlocks. Let me see. Well, first of all, you have you show it in this widget panel right here. And it looks like they don't yet have that's one of the requests to make it easier to install these iBlocks from the web. You actually have to install it in your folder structure. Yeah, no iBlocks. Very soon, just how you worked with. I was trying to do some advertisement of a feature I want put into iRise. There's one to oh, there you go, manage iBlocks. If you go to File, Manage iBlocks, it will open up this folder structure of where your iBlocks are. And if you download the iBlocks and you put it into this folder, it will now extend your iRise platform. You can use it. So in this case, and I'm going to install it. I'm going to show you guys how to do it, and then I'm going to see if everyone can successfully identify the text counter iBlock and install it right here. So let me do that again just to kind of run slow.
I was not able to install, like, it says Windows can't open this file.
Okay, Manika, let me switch over to your screen, make you presenter. And then, because that way we'll kind of start off with a simple iBlock, and then we're going to work our way into something more complicated. Okay, so correct. Windows can't open this one. This is something that only iRise can see. So hit cancel on this guy.
Okay.
And also I'm going to get rid of all this. If you could, great. Let's get rid of all this spaghetti here on the screen.
After.
Yeah. Page layout. And let's go ahead and get the iBlock. So first we need to kind of get this manage iBlock. This will give us this folder directory. We want to save the iBlock right here. And we're going to open up this widget panel. Right now you don't have any iBlocks installed. And so let's see if you were able to get to the reusable widget library. Oops. And what we want to do is install this text counter thing. Save link as. It's kind of a kludgy way, but it's going to save it, and all of a sudden you have this text counter just show up on your screen. This is a widget, which means you just kind of drag and you drop it on the page, and it'll start kind of showing, it kind of shows you a picture of what it has. And now you have this text counter widget. We can name it, and this, as opposed to a widget you grab from here, you now have iBlock widgets that you can have. So we'll label it here the comments text counter. iBlock. And there's a couple just interesting attributes that we have here, and I'll move this one up. So we'll call this one Team 2 Comments. So it's easy to find. And we need to find a text area. We have to put in a couple parameters, and these are unique for each iBlock. we need to find the text area for this particular one that we want to just use this functionality on. And we called it Team 2 Comments. And we decided to do a character limit, but you could do word. And down, and let's make this limit, just so it's easier, make it 15 characters. It's probably not a great UI, but here's our, we want to let the users know that there's a 15 character limit. We'll have a countdown right here showing 15. And we'll go ahead and play this. And now we've just simulated something that would just be extremely difficult to simulate in iRise. And it stops. I can't type beyond that. So here are some seat, and I wanted to type more than comments. And now you can kind of simulate this one. Let me just see who else is on the, Beiying, are you on the phone?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm going to I wanted to see if I could, we'll pick a different iBlock for you, but were you on the line when I spoke a little bit about responsive design?
No.
Okay.
I missed 4 minutes.
Okay, sure. Well, we'll come back to that. We're about to come back to that. I just want to see if I'll reorient on that one. What we're doing right now is responsive design is an advanced styling behavior, and iRise is an open platform which allows us to kind of extend it. There's advancements that will occur in HTML that aren't quite yet integrated into the iRise product. And when that scenario occurs, you can actually just extend your own functionality just by putting in this iBlock. You can create your own, or you can use some of the other ones that other folks have authored. So in this case, we just we are simulating the need to, I guess, have a character text counter. Well, this isn't something that's natively in iRise with the widgets. There's some kind of workarounds to it. Mm-hmm. And instead of trying to figure out how to do it in iRise because there's not a native control, we just downloaded a library here. There's something else there in Google. I'm going to show you another behavior, auto-suggest. Oops. I guess that one works there too, but let's go to Google, and if we were to type in auto, see how you start seeing some drop-downs right here? Well, this, again, is something that's not a super easy thing to simulate in iRise. There's an iBlock that enables you to do auto-suggest. And they have a tab bar here for an iRise as well. So come back to, that's another interesting iBlock. So I want to kind of, I've just kind of given another impossible requirement. Or not impossible, but kind of a tricky thing in iRise, and we're going to just take a look and see if there is a. I know it exists. So it's something called auto suggest. So this auto suggest allows, just kind of has this this functionality right here on it. The way that you install an iBlock is it's kind of kludgy. You put in some there's been some requests whenever there's a part of the software that's tricky. They have a very active user forum. So if you put in an idea, and if you can get like 3 or 4 people to like it or support it, it usually gets into the next product release of iRise, which there'll probably be another release in September or October. But so right now, what they've done to make it easier, you go to File and you go to Manage iBlocks, and that gives you the directory. And if you save these iBlock files right here, they become available to you in this this widget panel. So you can just kind of put in another simple. I like these widgets, these iBlocks, because they're nice and simple. You don't need to necessarily know a whole lot. And then we're going to kind of bring the level of difficulty up another notch for responsive design. So here's a directory, and we're going to want to put in a widget library here. We're going to want to put in this auto suggest iBlock. So if you go right click, save link as, put in this auto suggest iBlock, hit save, and it immediately shows up in your iRise window. So let's say we wanted to have a list of team members or select team members or something like that. In fact, I'm going to have, since we're on Monica's computer, I'll let her drag and drop. Could you go ahead and put an auto suggest input widget on the screen? Just drag and drop that. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the text counter. You can delete that guy. And go to the auto suggest and just drag and drop. So this one, it's nice how they made this iBlock. If you just go ahead and hit play, you'll have something work right now. Just go ahead and simulate your solution. They did a nice job, and they just seeded it with some sample data. Apple, banana, and carrot on this iBlock. So if you started to type in A, banana, but we want to kind of put in some of our team member names, and all these items too can be. We're going to show you the manual way, and then there's also dynamic data. I don't think we got into the data concept yet. So if you go to options, let's go ahead and click options on the left-hand panel. Under the Properties tab. If you move down further where it says Options, right below Hidden, so keep moving your mouse down. Right up there. Excellent. Yep, now hit those three dots. And you can go ahead and type it in. So type in Tony, Manica, and Beiying. Beiying might need some help. B-E-Y. B-E.
Okay. Is it B-E?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, excellent. So hit done, and then if you take a look, the font match right now it's in the beginning. If you move your mouse down on the properties, and for this one, it probably move your mouse down. Go below options. See where we at with options. Let's move it down a little bit under match instead of beginning. You go down a little bit there. Let's have it match anywhere. Just make it just that much easier to find the person, because we all tend to have the letter N in our name. So hit play, or let's simulate this one now. And under team members, you could type in the letter N, everything, but if you type in N-I, it's going to quickly, Manica is the only one with N-I. I was trying to come up with something. Or you could just start typing in someone's name. All those are going to show up, So if you just type Tony, shows up there because that's apparently I'm the only one with a T. But if you're to start typing in, all of us have very unique first letters. But that's kind of an example of how that works. And now I want to show you just one other item. We have the ability to have this populated from data. So we've been working on concepts. If you go back, Manica, to your screen, and I'm going to take control of this one because we didn't really go through the advanced data concepts. And I have to bring back this spaghetti here. We've been working on this project, and we've been kind of identifying concepts. I'm going to call this select a concept. We have concept of registration, roles, all that stuff. And just put in the concept name. I was able to take something from a data sheet. And did I cover data sheets at all with you guys? at all?
Could you please repeat the question?
Oh, did I cover data sheets with you guys at all?
Probably not.
Okay. We'll come. The short of it right now is iRise lets you persist data. You can use a clipboard, or you can use a data sheet. This is kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. And so everything I've been working on here, instead of like a drop-down list, I just kind of have a big spreadsheet in iRise of things. So like when we have a drop-down list of roles, I just query this data sheet. It just makes it easier because when the customer says, hey, we're not using fill in the blank, whatever the term is, I just update my page of concepts and it's updated everywhere. So so I have several different concept names that have been created, and my customer wants the ability to know, I guess, all the concepts we have, and so we could just say have the ability to select the concept for whatever reason. Select the concept, and we could come up with some functional reason there. So I want the options that can be selected to be concept name. Now, this list, it's being pulled directly from the data sheet, and now iRise can show the name, whatever our concept is. Role, Medicare, and we obviously can expand this. QMAT. I don't have a concept called QMAT user. These are anyone with the word user, and we're just kind of pulling it in from the data sheet. So that's kind of a couple examples of things that would be kind of tricky right now to simulate in iRise, because a lot of the widgets we've gone through, these controls are just kind of real traditional controls that really haven't changed much. And I also showed there's this here's another eye block of if someone wanted to simulate a map, you'd be able to do that in iRise as well. It's being cut off here. I put it within a section within a section, so there's some UI items here. So the next thing I'd like to do, I'm going to have Manica download 2 important eye blocks that we're going to be using for simulating something on the landing page, and so I'm going to have Bing do the same thing as well. So there are 2 eye blocks that we need to download under the reusable widget. One is called breakpoints, and if you can go there, that'd be good. Yep. So go to your reusable widget. So we're going to want a breakpoint. But instead of saving it there, if you do a right-click Save As, you have to save it in that one directory so iRise can find it.
The save link as, or
I'm sorry, what was that?
is it save link as?
Yes, save link as.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
And then we're also going to need to download this other thing that's called a slide. After you save that one, there's something called a slide panel. You just type it, search for the term slide. There's something like slide panel. I thought it was. Yeah, there it is. Slide panel.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, perfect. And so the slide panel is kind of neat. This is is an action widget. It means it doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually show anything on the screen. It just has some kind of cool behavior. I'm going to go and I'm going to show just a quick example of how it works. If I could on your screen, scroll up. here's a template of a responsive dashboard, and we'll get into that in a minute here. So here is an example of this breakpoint, and I'll explain what a breakpoint is in slide panel and grid pattern, because there's a couple things we need to know. So a responsive page, and we'll kind of demo it from here, is a page that kind of redraws itself, so to kind of take advantage of what you have on this, what type of monitor you have, or how big your screen, how big you happen to have sized your screen. There's a little bit of latency and lag here. So it might be easier if, but you can kind of see here that, with this one we kind of have a basic pattern, a column pattern. So we've standardized that these kind of small thumbnail tiles called widgets in this example here, and they're all the same size, but when Manica happens to have a nicer monitor that's a wider monitor than the typical one, and instead of just having gray space, it just kind of reorganizes it and just brings the widget up. This is called a grid pattern design, and this is becoming kind of, I believe, is becoming one of the more popular designs, which basically the reason for its popularity is that it kind of limits it kind of limits how much thinking goes into the design. It's simply you standardize your screen into just basic building blocks, and as the screen gets smaller, it just resizes to make the best use of your screen. Similarly, you might have, and we're going to show this, we're going to have the concept of a big widget and small widget for a landing page. Joel's working on that design. So a big widget, we might decide that the smallest screen that we'll design for is about this size. Well, whatever we make, for example, you could have something that's perhaps the size of 3 widgets wide or 3 columns wide, and you could have all the small guys collapse below him. But that's kind of the concept of a responsive design. I want to make sure that Beiying has been able to download this. I was going to just switch presenter over to you, Beiying, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Oh, looks like you need to switch to a desktop version of GoToMeeting. I'm just going to send you that request. You'll need to download that at some point.
Oh, I have a desktop version.
Okay.
GoToMeeting. I
Yes.
have it.
Okay. I'm trying to make you the presenter, and right now it's not allowing me to make you the presenter. It says yet.
Okay.
So I sent you something that's going to give you a download request.
Do I have to log in?
Shouldn't have a login request.
Just have the ID. Yeah, let me get the ID. Just 1 second.
All right, no worries. And while you're doing that, I'll just kind of move it back over to my screen. There's so just before you joined Bing, we were talking a little bit about responsive design, which is basically it's this has come out with this HTML5. It has browsers now have the ability to do what's called a media query, which means it can tell how much room the browser has to lay things out. And there's a couple things here. For example, this browser right here, this design is kind of, I don't know if that's truly responsive. This one has a float. We can do that in iRise as well. That requires an iBlock. But I think we saw on the CMS site, cms.gov, that the page actually redraws to kind of fit whatever the screen is. So I guess the thought is if when it's narrower, it would support a let me just close that down. When it's narrower, it would close. It would show, I guess, a screen. They're assuming that you would be a your touch screen or something like that if it's this small, and if it's wider, you're your computer. There's this kind of a mobile first design, which is kind of the thought of and this is what I'm going to show you. What we're looking to simulate for landing pages, kind of using a mobile first design, kind of a tiled design for accessing and navigating the functionality. So anyway, so this is an example of responsive design that CMS has, and basically the screen kind of has to redraw quite a bit, and it's non-standard as you go wide and narrow. And so this just what we have is kind of a grid pattern where I'm going to demonstrate today. So Beiying, it looks like you're on there. I'm going to see if I can make you presenter now. Change present. Oh, there you go. Excellent. Excellent. So we'll need to do two things. One is have you access. Oh, great. Oh, you've been able to install a couple already. Perfect. So go up to, let's go up to that template responsive design so you can kind of see these eye blocks. And let's go install those eye blocks locally on your device, and then we're gonna take a look at how this eye block works, and then we're gonna apply that to kind of a template that we want to make here for a landing page. So, oh, you have breakpoints. Okay, so you have breakpoints, and then you have you guys are faster than I thought. And then if you go to the Actions tab, take a look at Actions. So you see widgets, and then on the other part you see Actions. Right?
Oh, Actions.
Actions. So that's a slide panel, and the slide panel is there's absolutely no UI component. It just performs some action on the screen. So now that we have this is the this is what we have that's making this responsive screen work. We have a widget that's down here, this breakpoint, and we kind of standardized it, and you can have any action that you want. This one we just had it, including navigating to different pages, but we decided to make this one just a simple design of how tabs would work. If you want it, you can go ahead and play it, and then I can talk through the demo if you want.
What should I do?
If you want, did you see how this works?
Slide panel.
Yes, the slide panel. Just the UI, just a quick demo of how this works and what it does, and I'll go through the widgets.
Right. All right. Yeah.
Okay. So you can see kind of here that's it's moving things, moves the items around here. Oops. That's Firefox?
Yes.
Okay. And for some reason we find that Chrome tends to give the best UI experience. But anyway, so this is you can kind of see how this this pattern's working.
Is this slide panel?
This is the slide panel is what's causing these things to move, and the breakpoint is what's causing iRise to realize that the screen design size has changed. So if we take a look at this breakpoint, what I've done here is I've decided to kind of parameterize these because we want to kind of make the breakpoints the same. We want all pages to have the same. So for this one, we just kind of made a this would be different for our purposes. I just made a couple examples of something for a tablet, a projector in a conference room called a war room. And then a monitor size for widescreen and high definition widescreen. And so these are numeric values. For simplicity's sake, what I did is I kind of kind of enumerated the different device names that we'd have to kind of figure out breakpoints in this example. That way, if someone decided they wanted to change it, you could have that. It's a good idea to have these types of parameters controlled from a table, so you don't have to go to each page. Again, that was in the advanced data concept, and I don't think we got into that, so I won't go into it too much. But this iBlocks allow you to have things set from a data sheet. From here, we have this these breakpoints, and this is where labeling is really important. These iBlocks, you can have custom events. So one thing that is unique about this widget is there's an event called device 1, device 2, and this is kind of where you have in terms of the grid, you have different boundaries of the grids cross. So as this becomes a tablet, we want to make this one size smaller, where we want to move all of the panels so they stack just too wide. And we have a slide widget right here, which selects each of our portlets. I guess they're just name them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just label those across, and this stacks the portlets. And you can put in the XY coordinates for each one of them. And Beiying, do you have any background with the user interface with the UI for responsive design?
A little.
Like in software?
Yes, or with actually, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on one moment. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, so this is the design, kind of how the iBlocks are used for, some of the for creating the responsive design. So first of all, that's kind of the most important thing is that everyone knows how to download one of these things. Perhaps getting into this part, we might want to step back a little bit and kind of understand what responsive design is and how that would work with landing page. Let me switch presenter over to me. And does anyone have any questions in terms of iBlocks?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to show you just an example. You can make your own iBlocks too, but I don't think this it's really too relevant for this audience. But in iBlock, in case you're interested in standards and stuff like that, an iBlock really is a zip file. So you can make, here's an example of like Sencha makes kind of a cool iBlock for data grids. see if I have that one installed. Well, I won't get into it. So that's that's how you create it. If you want to make your own iBlock, you basically can. The source code is just JavaScript, XML, images if you're using them, style sheets, and you can kind of just make your own. You can inject your own HTML code directly into iRise, and there's this compiler code that you have that will take all these items and turn them into an iBlock for you. Oops, we don't want to preview it. An iBlock. And one of the things I've asked iRise for is just kind of have an open source place where we can host all these. All right, so let's now take a look at the landing page over here. And this might be new. So in the landing page right now, the big part that we wanted to demonstrate in the beginning, the systems architects, they wanted to demonstrate that you could make, that you could do single sign-on. And the purpose of single sign-on was really to demonstrate that when you clicked over here, that you would be able to multitask without the landing. If you weren't in the portal, going from the Innovation Center homepage to QMAT would require a separate login. And so we kind of wanted to demonstrate multitasking. One of the problems, though, is this with this tabbed item, especially on the lower resolution screens, you start to have less and less, more and more navigation takes away from your usable area. So in this design, for example, and this is really just to demonstrate multitasking, we have this item up here, which we have no control over. This top part needs to be there. Tabs here, and then below it, even more tabs. And then after this, you can start kind of doing some work. Alternately, this was made. There was a design that was made where all the different types of items that would be on your available to you on the landing page would just be clickable via tabs like this. And I think I showed this one here, kind of what we were trying to simulate. This one is not responsive. But the concept is you would click on the tile, it gets big, and the other ones just kind of move over to the side of the page. So one of the challenges of the landing page would be making a thumbnail version of whatever is requested, and then going ahead and putting in the behavior. So a small version of, where's the, I thought I need to have two of these. I need to have two landing pages open at the same time here. So right now we see just kind of these tabs right here, and it's just request access is one big item. But what we really want to do is have request access just be a small little, a small thumbnail of requesting access, where you can add request access to a new application, or if you expand it open, you can see more information and try to get rid of these tabs.
One quick question.
Sure.
So that would be one portrait, like.
Yes, like request access would be one of these guys right here.
Okay.
Is the thought. So we can kind of go ahead and start to simulate this because we still have an hour left. So But the other part that I didn't spend much time on at all, that I'm going to lightly touch on it, is managing style and complexity. So I think we did some stuff with the styles. So you see here some of the controls. This one probably doesn't fit it. There's some graphics and things. There's two ways that you can get these graphics into the simulation. You can we've seen you can put in an image widget, and you can also use a style. I'm a big advocate of the style for two reasons. One is style sheets. There's a performance benefit. Styles cache locally. Your browser just knows how to cache styles locally. So if you use iRise styles, then your simulation will go quicker because a quick question, this is a computer science type of term. Does anyone know the difference between declarative and imperative programming?
No.
No? Okay, I need to work on that one. I started to write up a blog on it, but the difference between declarative and imperative, or the paradigm I'm working in here, is the more that you can separate the styles from the actual page, the quicker it performs. If you were to put this image, for example, in the page, nothing would show up until all the items show up locally. Whereas if you have a style sheet, that's a separate file, so this page can show up pretty quickly and start to look the way you want as it starts to apply the declarations of the style sheet. Being, I think we lost you and then got you back. All right, welcome back, Being. So let's go ahead and we have some styles that are right here. I think we have a style master.
Oh, which folder is that?
I'm sorry?
Which folder is that?
Well, I'm going to move this up to the team. I'm going to move this up to our ActionNet one. I'm trying to figure out which one it is that I need to pull up the. Style concepts. That's probably it. So these are all local styles. Are these ones we had? So these are different styles that are, exist in the system right here, and I've created a page called Style Master. We're going to want something like this for Team 2. I thought we had started this in one of our classes. I'm going to search. I can search within iRise. I think we created a style master for Team 2, and if we do, let's just stick with that one. Okay, excellent. Well, not this one. Oh, there it is. Team 2 Style Master. Here we go. It is right in the Team 2 folder. So here we go. We have a Team 2 Style Master. Not sure who all was in this one. So these are the different types of controls that we have for kind of making our portlets.
Hi, Tony. I have a question about that class. Actually, I tried to copy the image from Font Awesome cheat sheet and try to paste in, I think Microsoft PowerPoint, right? But it won't allow me to paste in the original format.
Let me see kind of what you, is this, was this Beiying or Manica? Sorry.
Monica.
Manica. Let me make you presenter here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so what are you trying to do here?
Actually, I tried to copy the image from the site you gave us, Font Awesome cheat sheet.
Oh, cool.
But I was not able to do copy and paste. Like it would just show like question mark.
Yes, yes. Okay, so that's very good. So there's two things. So first of all, Font Awesome is not that's browsers seem to natively have it. Most of them do, but it might not necessarily be on your local computer. So there's a step where we kind of need to turn the font into an image that all browsers can see. So let's go to Font Awesome and kind of find an image and walk all the way through. So if you go to that Advanced Styling Concepts, I think I've got a link for Font Awesome, or you can go right to Font Awesome, whichever way you want. Font Awesome, perfect. All right, so these are the different fonts. Now, what you're looking here are not actually images. They look like images, but they're fonts. It's the same thing as. Are you familiar with Wingdings and those other ones? In fact, if I could have control here, let me just make sure. Kind of give you a little education on fonts here. So you have a character map here, and before Font Awesome, this is what made Steve Jobs. This is what Steve Jobs did before, before he became known as the computer maker. Is he invented, kind of the concept of fonts. It's a kind of an easy way to get icons. So this is one of the more primitive items, but right here, this enabled you to kind of create pictures very quickly. From fonts. So this is just a font right here. It's not an image. It looks like an image. You have to go to PowerPoint or some tool that can save images as icons. So if you go ahead and just make a blank presentation, and I just like to have one of these items is just make one your iRise PowerPoint thing, because this is, you just use it over and over again. We'll make this a blank layout. And what I like to do is, so there's a couple things you can do. So first is you can just simply insert, paste, and you want to use the source. Keep source formatting, see if that works. And so here we have this control, and if we wanted to make it look like a button, PowerPoint has these different things you can put in there. Like if you wanted to make it a button, kind of like a beveled button here.
Yes, I don't know why I was not able to, paste the images like you did now.
Oh, with this still is not an image, just so you know. It's
okay.
It's still a font. But I'm just going to kind of show you a preset, though. Let's say we wanted to turn this into a, let's say we wanted to make a, some sort of a, button. I don't know why it's got this interesting beveled thing on it. I was trying to make it nice and smooth. Oh, this is what I want. We'll make this our little tool controller, something like that. trying to size it here. So this is our poor man's way of making a control, and we'll right click. We want to bring to front. And this is kind of our way of making this this control. That I guess this would be our whatever it is. And you group these two items together. Group. But this is still a font, so you can change the size of it, all that stuff, and then we're going to turn it into an image. So so now what you do is you copy, and then you paste it as an image. Oops. And obviously we didn't copy both of them together. Control C. And now we've created an image. Don't worry too. You'll notice that the sharpness, you've lost it a little bit, but it's not too big of a deal because it's it's just a smaller image. It degrades the format a little bit. And what I like to do is just kind of crop it. But we've now kind of created a fancy little control here. Now you can just do this save as picture. And a folder that I use, I know everyone uses the the temporary folder. I just like having just a folder called delete every day. Whether or not you delete every day, it's not a big deal. But anyone that I work with, I always create a delete every day folder. Just so you know it's safe to do that. Create a new folder. Because you might want to have a hover effect or something like that, but this is the settings buttons. We'll call it a control. Control dot, I don't know, tools or settings. Now when you're in iRise, you switch over here to our Team 2 page. Let's go ahead and make a control. So we'll do a Team 2, we'll make a button control of some sort. All right, the Team 2 star. We'll duplicate this guy and we'll call it the Team 2 settings. Add it, and we'll go find that control that we made under delete every day. And obviously it's not Team 2 star, it's Team 2 delete, Oops. But now I'm going to show it Font Awesome because not everyone has Font Awesome installed locally. And if you don't, that's something we'll want to take care of right now. And again, with the name, we want to just kind of radiate it all the way through. Just a good practice. And now we have our Team 2 settings control. And you might want to have, if you want to have like a mouse over effect or something like that, that's something you can do later on. But that's, you can just play around, use the different effects from PowerPoint to kind of see what you might want to have as a hover. So let's see if you have Font Awesome installed.
I haven't installed it. I could just copy and paste like you did.
Okay. Oh, it looks like you don't have Font Awesome installed. So my guess, if you did a copy and paste right here,
Yes.
this cheat
Yeah,
sheet's gonna
that's what.
fail. I think you'll get a rectangle because when you do it, right-click, copy, and so I'll show you how to install it real quick. So you'll do right-click, and you want to do paste, use source formatting, and I think the problem is you don't have Font Awesome installed locally, and I can tell that by looking at the character map. It's an open source tool. It's on open source font. It's on GitHub. Well, you don't see Font Awesome here, so we want to go ahead and just download it. You scroll up to the top. Let it download. And we want to, oh, oops, I meant to put that in delete every day, but all we have to do is make C delete every day. Yep. And I don't know how to install things on this is why it's good everyone's using a PC, because I don't know how to install fonts on a Mac. But you find the font file. I think it's this TrueType file. You just double-click it, and you hit install. Now, when you go to PowerPoint, Font Awesome works. Beiying, do you have Font Awesome installed?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't have it installed.
Okay, well that would be a good thing. Let's go ahead and put that in there, and you can kind of see like the font it shows up really nicely, but it's good to convert it into an image because not everyone, if you don't have that font installed locally, it won't show up. So while you give up a little bit in sharpness, you get that back in terms of interoperability. Beiying, if you like, I could want me to make you the presenter. I can make sure you're all installed.
Okay.
Oops, it says I have control, but I can't see you. Oh, now I can see you. So you want to go ahead and download it, and I'll do a right-click Save As. I just want to create my Delete Everyday folder. Because once you install it, you don't need it anymore. I mean, once it's installed locally, that TrueType font. And that way I can always find my stuff. So if you do a right-click, Save As, Delete Everyday, create a Delete Everyday folder. Save Link As. And then go to C. And then just create a new folder, Delete Everyday. Yep, and just go ahead and put that guy in there. And then we're going to want to unzip that. Yes. And just kind of, drag that whole folder. But perfect. All right, so we can double-click that guy, go to Fonts. And you want, yes, the TrueType font. Double-click that and hit Install. Excellent. Now from Font, and there's two ways to access the fonts. The easiest is the cheat sheet, but I will just show you really quickly. You have a character map on your computer. So if you're but let's do the cheat sheet first. So if you open up, go ahead and open up. We'll want to have Microsoft PowerPoint. Yes, this cheat sheet's great. And then copy one of these icons into PowerPoint once you get that launched up. And let's go. I think there's a, since we're going to be doing medical stuff, let's get an icon of a doctor. There's a font awesome. Yeah, just hit blank presentation. And we'll save this. Save this as we can make the go to home and then we'll save this as just kind of a template under that delete every day folder too. Yep, presentation 1. Perfect. And then I changed the layout to blank so you don't have those text boxes there. Yeah, right up there. Almost. Go down. Yeah, there. Change the layout to blank. All right. Now go back to your Font Awesome cheat sheet. And down there, there's a picture of a doctor. If you do a search for medical or doctor, I think you're going to find it. There's like a little icon. Let me see what he's called. Oh, I think there's FA user, FA users. Here you go. FA user MD. There's a good chance we're probably going to want to have this little icon here. So you can just copy it. Oh, we just missed him. See him? FA user. Yeah, so go ahead. Nope, to the right. FA user dash MD. Get the doctor one. And then go over to PowerPoint, and then you can do use destination theme, or keep source formatting. I'm sorry, source formatting. And for some reason it didn't go over that, no problem. That question mark, all you'll need to do is change the font to Font Awesome. It's currently on Calibri. Oh, there you go. Click. Make sure click that question mark first. If I can grab control, I can show you. And we instead of Calibri. There you are. Oops. And it's in italics. He's in italics there, but there you go. And this is the part where if you wanted to do something else, you would have the ability to perhaps put this in as word art. Make him a fancier doctor. Now he's a fancier doctor with oh, we have 2 icons here? Okay, here's our fancy doctor. And it just seems at some point we're going to have something that's one of the older versions of PowerPoint, but there's pretty powerful. And then we can go ahead and we can save this as a picture just locally, and let's go put this under delete every day. And I'm just going to create a folder here called iRise too. The thing that I try to do, though, is make sure I name it after whatever Font Awesome calls it. So Font Awesome calls it FA for Font Awesome, user MD. That way, if anyone comes back and they want to do that, it's easy for them to kind of figure out whatever that control is. User MD, save. And now when you go to your, oops, that's my iRise. If you could pull up your iRise guy, pull him into the view. We have a Team 2 user icon, but now we have a doctor icon. So just kind of zoom in there. So what I like to do is just, iRise is just really good at being able to copy something that you kind of have already that you like. So we have this user icon. we're going to create something called a user MD. So I'm going to do a trick. Actually, I'll have you do it. If you hold down the control button, and then drag that section to the right. It'll make a copy of it.
Where's the control button? Where's the control button?
Your control button, it's on your keyboard, so if you look at your space bar, there's a control button. Yeah, I'm sorry, the control button on your... and now if you hold down that control button, hold that button down and then drag and drop that selected area to the right.
Which one?
This right here, right here on this screen.
I see.
Let's see. Try it again. Just get it so you have that little hand icon. Up a little bit. I think that's what it is. If I could grab control over here. Okay, let go. I think you may have done it. See how it made if control makes a copy of it? Well, this is the thing we want to just kind of make. We want this, except we want it to be the doctor. So now that you've created this thing, that's perfect. Now we want to just create a style. So click this, click it right here. And now we want to go up to here. Don't do anything else. First we click this team user icon. Then we want to make we want to basically clone it. So we hit the 2 A's. And we want to make a duplicate. So I'll let you hit duplicate. Just click that duplicate button. And instead of user icon, make it user icon -MD. Instead of copy -MD. And hit OK. And then hit edit. And hit that little image thing where it says user.png. Right over here. This background. You go ahead and click that background image. Instead of user, we want this new one. So it's under delete every day. So you can do C:delete every day, and you'll iRise and control user MD and hit open. And then hit OK. And then then hit done. And then we want to change the style. So go up to that drop down arrow right over here. Move it down to MD. And you can say, oh my gosh, this doctor's too big. We'll expand it out a little bit. We made too big of a doctor, which is kind of good to figure that one out. We can the way you iterate on it. We'll just go over here. And there's 2 ways to do it. Perhaps the easiest is, just change the font size. So, eyeballing it, this is probably at least 2 times too big. So let's go over to your font over here and make it half of 54. Or, yes, we'll make it 24. Do you save as? You replace it. And then when you modify it, you can just hit edit. Just go ahead and put it in there again. It looks like it's about a comparable size here now. But you can see there's still kind of a, some spot. It's not starting right up at the top. So let's just take we might want to crop this a little bit. So the way to handle that one is you copy, paste as a picture. And let's go ahead and crop it. Oops. Now save this guy again. So we'll save his picture. So that looks about that seems like it's closer, and we just kind of made our own icon here, and then we just want to radiate the name. My way of grabbing it is I just like to copy paste. Copy. I just did a Control C. I just want everything to say Team 2. Perfect. So now we kind of have our Team 2 user icon. Make sense? Or does that work? Maybe we could make a couple more of these icons here for QMAT, but we kind of have let's go ahead and make something for requesting access that's been styled. We have a style right here. We had a Team 2 exercise. Instead of this exercise portlet header, let's go ahead and turn this into the request access. So we want to translate from here. I'm going to show the page that we want to turn into a tile. I think that'll be good. If we make these into the tile, I can do the I can kind of set things up for the responsive design. I just wanted you to kind of understand what it is. That's I don't want to get too bleeding edge here. So we're going to have this concept of request access, but we want to be able to say it in a little bit more succinct manner. So we want to have this request access thing, and it looks like they call it my access. So Beiying, if let's see if Manica is Manica. Were you able to get to this page? Oops. Oh, that's crazy with the that airplane that got shot down. Manica, are you on the page on the the Team 2 page? The Team 2 style page?
iRise?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Team 2 Style Master, right? Yes.
Yes. And so I'm going to work with I'm going to pretend like I'm Beiying, and we're going to kind of work with this style. So Beiying, let's kind of describe to Manica kind of some things that we want to have go in there, and we can kind of watch her. So let's this portlet header where right now it says Team 2 exercise. Let's have her change that to my access. So replace the part instead of it saying Team 1 exercise portlet header. Let's call it my access.
Okay, could you please repeat that again?
Change it. Yeah, change it. So replace the name instead of a Team 1 exercise portlet header. Let's call it my access. Right here. And then excellent. And then Manica, let's go ahead and just this will be our simple one. For request, all we want to do is just have it very simply in the beginning, have the ability to just kind of request access. So let's go ahead and have it request access. We'll want to let's put in what I have found. This is what I was kind of showing the team. I'm working this on reusable registration. I'm proposing we take a design. Let's like this. I'll show you. We kind of have a design concept right here, and let me just delete them right here. My thought is that we could just have a table, and then when you go to add new request access, we could kind of have like a light box effect show up there for requesting access. Obviously, it's not person information, but the lightbox could be, request, the more the information. So my thought is we would have a kind of a short view right here, just listing the applications you have a table, and then we'll have an add new button and an edit subtract button. So team 1 my access, excellent. I'm going to just go ahead while you're there. I'm going to go into my screen and just kind of create a basic table, and then we'll style it together. We'll make a 3-column table. We'll put data to it in a bit, but we'll have one column called application name. We'll just call it application status, and then we'll just have another one that's just actions, where you'd have the ability to just I guess remove, I guess the actions would be edit, and remove. So let's go ahead and put I'll put in a space, and I'm going to have someone else do the styling. So so could someone just put in a fake name of an application and some status called approve, and I'm going to just put in a couple other things that I'm going to leave for someone else to style. Edit, access, and then we'll have another one called remove access. And I'm going to just wrap this in a section, and that section's going to be, well, see if you guys get style here. I'll have Beiying style that one.
What would be the style?
So for edit access, I've got a control, if you take a look on the team page, for edit. It looks like a little icon. I can't see your page right now. I'm just putting in a couple designs here. Wrap in section, and I'll come back and take a look at your screen in 1 second. So I guess these will just kind of be the actions that we can have here. We'll call it actions. And then we'll put something underneath here. This will be like whenever we want to have a row here. I'm going to merge this. We'll have request access. Wrap in section, and then we have some styles that exist that we're gonna want to apply to this. Request access. So if taking a look at Beiying's system, let's take a look at our style master. For edit, there's a team to edit icon, and then remove access, I figure we could use the minus to symbolize that one, and the plus circle for adding access. So here for edit access, there's there's edit access, and then I created a section. And we want to style this edit access section. Oops. Oh, nope. That's these are controls or actions. We want this edit access section to be styled with the team to edit. So, Beiying, if you, we're on your screen. If you go up to that drop down, see where it says table. Yeah. See, we want to have it go. We want to use the team to edit style. So it's currently styled as table, and you can see that right up here. Yep, and there's a team to. We wanted to use the team to edit icon style, Now, if you click that right here, we can see, just click once here, this has the Team 2 edit style. So, so leave that one as is. This is kind of our quick way of seeing what's in our style master, the styles that we're using. Let's go and hit this section here. And this, we want to go to this menu item. I'll let you click it and change it to Team 2 Edit. I think it was called the Team 2 Edit Access. Edit icon. There it is, Team 2 Edit icon. Perfect. And now we see the labels, the text are there. We could move it, but you know the easiest way, go hit Edit, hit those two A's right up here, so we don't have to size things up. Yeah. Let me grab those controls real quickly. We hit this thing right here. Oh, if I could grab control real quickly. There's a click Edit Access. We're going to want to kind of point out something that we don't like. All right, so it is Edit Access. We kind of want the we want this to be. Oh, scroll one out. Go one up on the breadcrumb, and we want this. We've got an issue. The text is kind of running into the control. So let's just change the text alignment here. And now, done. Hopefully that would move it there. Oh, I guess that still doesn't work for us, so we just need to move the edit access. And the control's nice, but we need to have a little bit more room, so it's I guess we want this to be a size 25. Edit access. So here's our edit access style. Now, can you do the same thing? And so I guess we're going with the width of, make it all even. 160. Presumably that'll be the same size. We'll make this 160 for the width. And go ahead and see if that remove axis, let's make that one the red icon. And we'll probably want to, I believe I think that was called Team 2, let's see what it was called. Team 2 minus circle icon. And Manica, if you want to jump ahead, you can see if you can do that for request access. Wrap request access in a section, and put in that plus circle. So we see Team 2. That's the style we want to apply. So for Beijing, so scroll over to the right. Oh, you're going to try to make a copy of that's a way to do it as well. But you'll see that one's kind of trickier. It's a lot easier just to select the thing you want to style and use the drop-down arrow. But if you were to, you can make a copy of it that way. Let me. Yep, you could do a copy. I'm sorry. Let me let you go ahead and do that, and then scroll over and you can kind of drop them in. Cool, and you can get rid of that the text of remove access kind of in the background. You kind of have some sections on sections. See if you can drag that text of remove access into your section there. Kind of a hard one to see if you... There you go. Now the way to kind of align it, if you click that, very good. Let me show you another keyboard shortcut. So you want to click this guy. I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm going to click this guy. Now I'm going to hold down Control and Alt. I'll have you do it. Hold down Control and Alt on your keyboard and press the left arrow. That's either going to align everything or it's going to make your computer screen look crazy. Oh, it didn't? Okay. Interesting. All right. Let me go ahead and if you do that left align. Interesting. So if I do Control Alt, if I do left, huh? Okay. So did that make your computer screen just do something crazy, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a hotkey that we need to disable on your computer that will allow the browser. Control Alt. I'm trying to move it so you're, Control Alt down, Control Alt. Is it upside down now, or am I right side up?
Yeah.
All right. Is it looking the way you want it to look? Did I mess up your monitor? Is your monitor looking normal? It is upside down? Okay. Let me, I'm going to do Control, let's see if I can find it. Control Up. Control, did that do anything?
No.
No.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's normal now.
Is it the normal now? Okay. So we want to, iRise happens to use the same hotkey that your monitor driver uses. So let's turn off your monitor hotkey because you will never have a need for that. Here, so, oops, I got to move my thing out of the way. There's an Intel monitor thing. Intel graphics. Graphic options, hotkeys, and we want to disable them. All right. Now this keyboard shortcut will be more fun. Now you hold down Control and Alt and you hit left. Perfect. Okay. That's what it was supposed to do. Just for your information. And let me just kind of, well, I'll let you do that. So, but if you, why are there's sections within sections. Let's see, remove access. You have remove access inside of this guy, which will be our remove access. Oh, cool. Watch this. We have a redundant section. We have the text remove access within a section called remove access, within another section called remove access, within a section called actions. We have one too many remove accesses. This guy's fine. This one we don't like. He's redundant. So we don't want anyone in this redundant remove access. So this is good. This is good. This guy is within a redundant section. We want to do that. Get rid of him. This is just unwrap a level here. And we want to just delete this section. This doesn't have anything in there, so we can delete. All right, so now we have remove access, and we have edit actions. So I want to show you a couple of things that you can do now. So with these keyboard shortcuts that Beiying can do, are we on Beiying's computer? Yes. These are other shortcuts you can do with your control now that you've disabled that hotkey. If you hold down Control and Alt and press the right arrow, you'll see that everything aligns to the right.
Alt.
Yep, and then press the right arrow. Does that do anything for you? There's a Control key and an Alt key. I know it works because I know when I hit the Control and the Alt on my key. Yep, Control, Alt, and then press your right direction arrow.
Right.
Yep, the right arrow. See, and it'll align everything to the right. If you hit the left one, it'll align everything to the left.
Left.
Yep, Control, Alt, and press the left button. If you did Control, Alt, and press the M button, it would, or C for center. I think that's Control. Then it would align it in the center. But anyways, let's have them all aligned left for now. I just wanted to show you that shortcut. Manika, how are you doing on the request access?
Actually, did you ask me to create the section or?
Oh yeah, so for request access, you created request access. Oh, perfect. So all we need to do now is if you could apply the style for the plus button, we could kind of have our plus there.
Okay, so the plus.
And then let's put in just a couple statuses. We'll say approved. Now that we have these actions here, I showed, oh, perfect, and request access has been and then I guess instead of actions, instead of access, we'll call it request. Request. And now we can go ahead and Manica, you can go ahead and just hold down your control key and drag and drop it to million hearts. And Beiying, can you hold down your control key and drag and drop this in oncology so we'll just kind of show our actions have been repeated? Oh, make sure you hold down the control button and then I'll just make a copy of it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we want 3 copies of this one. So Beiying, you can go ahead and make a copy of that, and then Manica, who happens to be working on Million Hearts, or someone can just hold down that, and I see Million Hearts. Someone did that one, and just hold down that. Yep, drag that whole green section. Yep, hold down the control button, drop up, close. I would Control Z that one. I kind of like the version that Manica has. Let me show.
I'll just take Control C and Control C like.
Control. You know what? Control C is a very simple way of doing it too. I like the size that Manica has. Okay, perfect. Yep, Control C, perfect. So we now have the ability. The application we can. Application status, request access. Here's our size here. Taking a look, I started to, we have a kind of a style pattern for what these widgets are supposed to fit into though. So now we kind of have this styled here. We have 9 minutes left. Let's see. We want this one to be kind of like our little thumbnail tile. So we want them all to kind of fit into the same section. So we have a responsive design dashboard.
Tony, I actually have a meeting at 3. So.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, this is supposed to be part 1 of 2. So we did a brief little introduction in terms of iBlocks, what they are, what they do, and then the next part is we're going to turn this one into a master that's going to go into this responsive design here, and then as these we'll kind of work more on the styles here.
Do we have the? We'll have the video of this presentation.
Yes. Yep. I'll go ahead and I'll put this video up, and then this is one of the items that that Ashish and is looking for to kind of have a simulation, kind of seeing what this tile thing would look like.
Okay.
So, all right, guys. Well, this was fun. I can go ahead and put in a recording of this one, or do we have a couple minutes left that we can kind of work this one out a little bit more?
Okay. Well, I think I can do it sometime tomorrow if there's any class, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm leaving now though.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead. I'm going to include this this landing page. We normally have kind of a team 1 meeting, and I think we'll just kind of everyone just kind of if you guys are available on Tuesdays, and I'll put that on there. But we'll have a time to meet 3 times next week, and we can go ahead and make these thumbnails really quickly. You'll see that it's really not a whole lot of effort, and I am putting together just a responsive dashboard. So basically, we'll make these into masters, and then I'm just going to show you how to kind of take this little thing that we have here and just kind of put it into this navigation, this responsive navigation I have. So we'll pick that up next week. So are there any other questions on the styles? I think I'm glad everyone has the Font Awesome installed and knows how to apply styles.
Yeah,
So.
I do not have any question as of now.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks, guys. I'll go ahead and I'll upload this to our wiki page.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.